Well, we've had rides here in San Francisco in the range of 5,000 to 10,000 people many times. But if you take it as a global phenomenon, then the critical mass spread to all over the world, to more than 400 cities around the world, some of which continue to have critical mass every month, even to this day. And sometimes they're very small, sometimes they're very large. But if you add up since 1992 to today, that's 30 years. Since it began in San Francisco, and of course many other cities started later, but 10 years, 20 years down the road for all these different cities, you've had more than millions of people who have participated in critical mass around the world, more than 1 million. And nobody's ever been killed, and it's been a very joyful experience in most places, and it's for the most part changed expectations in most cities about the role of the bicycle. Officially leaderless, yes.
Officially,
because there's always people who take more responsibility and do more work to make it happen, and that's just a kind of invisible leadership. But in terms of formal control or formally, this is the president and they make the decisions, no, nothing like that. There's really no organization usually.
And the people involved there were very oriented towards the bicycle as basically a tool of anarchy. Like they really were, had an anarchist perspective on what they could do, but then you get this, the tool of the physical bicycle, but then the tool of the ride of 3,000 people on bicycles together, and you put it into rush hour in downtown San Francisco, and you're challenging like the structure, you're challenging how downtown San Francisco exists. And so that's one way that I think that movement came to be as powerful as it was. But I think it also brought in people who weren't necessarily trying to challenge the power structures, except that they liked bicycles. And they liked going out on a ride in the streets with a bunch of people and sound systems, and it was fun. So you had some people who were there like trying to challenge capitalistic systems, and you had some people who just wanted to ride their bikes in the street and feel safe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a social event. I think if you like riding bicycles around for any reason, it's a great place to ride bicycles with people who generally want to see either the bicycle integrated more into the city, or people have their own reasons for advocating for bicycles in different ways. And for me, initially, it was just a social experience, and it still really can be a social experience. In a lot of ways, I decided to not ride deliberately, because usually there would only be a few women that would ride, and it became a very heavily aggressive masculine space that I was no longer interested in participating in. And so that was one of the reasons I no longer enjoyed that social experience.
All we know is one way, the dumb way, don't play, get your mama coming out Get your ass over here.
and we do vigils when a car driver has killed a pedestrian or a bicyclist, and we go out there and we hold up signs. We put up signs that are semi-permanent at the location where the person was killed, and we do that to call out the supervisors in that district who are doing nothing about the deaths in their district. And we do this to call out the SFMTA, which is our transportation division in San Francisco, about the lack of action after somebody is killed. When I say the word call out, I mean call attention to, shame, and make a point that yes, somebody cares. Our neighbor was killed. Our neighbor was killed at that corner, and what is being done about it? And that person's death is not going to be forgotten. It was an unavoidable death, and it's not acceptable.